Hello everyone and welcome to today's video.
For today's video, I thought that I would do something a little bit different. Not really a little bit different. It's still blindness related, but it's different from the video that I had planned because what I had planned to do is show my liquid lipsticks because when I did my last makeup video, one of you said that you would like to see that, and so I was just gonna do my lipstick. I wasn't gonna do the rest of my makeup, or I was gonna do very light makeup, but I just never felt like doing that all week this week, so I didn't do my makeup and I did not film that video. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna talk about some of the benefits for blind people in Missouri, because I think I've touched on some of these, but I don't think that I've went through them like I should, because Missouri actually has more benefits for blind people than a lot of other states, and so I just kind of wanted to touch on those a little bit. I'm not going into any kind of depth on these because I'm not an expert, and I am actually going off of what other people have told me to do. So any information that I got is because I did these things for myself or someone has told me about them. So one of the benefits for blind people in Missouri is that you can sign up at your local family services office, I think that's what it's called, for something called blind supplemental pension, or blind supplemental income, I'm sorry. And what you can do is you can get Medicaid, food stamps, and a check. So every month you will get a check that is $700, and it doesn't change if you get a full-time job. At least that's what I was told when I went to Alpha Point like 5 years ago. Alpha Point is a place in Kansas City, Missouri that has a bunch of programs with and for blind people. And one of them is a rehabilitation program that teaches you technology skills, braille literacy skills, daily living skills, including how to cook, wash clothes, clean house, etc. And it also has a couple of places that you can work. One of them is a warehouse, and one of them is a plastics thing where you make all kinds of plastic stuff like medicine bottles, double-sided spatulas, that kind of thing. And another one is the call center where I worked for about 6 weeks while I was there. And you basically make and transfer calls while you're there. And so they kind of helped me out with this. So basically you sign up for a blind pension, and that's the other benefit. If you're older and you've worked and you've lost your sight somehow, or you have had job experience, you can actually get a blind pension. And Missouri is one of the only states that does not tie this to Social Security. There are 2 other states. I used to know what both of them are, but one of them is Nevada. And the other 2 states tie it into Social Security benefits, which will cut it down or off completely if you get a raise in Social Security, and it's really frustrating and really annoying. But with the blind supplemental income, that is for people who have not had a job or haven't had very many jobs. Like, I've only had 1 6-week job. That's it. And basically you get a check with that, you get Medicaid, and you get food stamps. Another benefit is not something that people often think about. So many times I've heard blind friends say, rehab services for the blind sucks in my state. Not in Missouri. In Missouri, they will basically sit down with you if you have a good counselor. Some of them are not so good, but if you have a good counselor, they will sit down with you and be like, what do you need? What are your goals? Are you gonna go to college? Are you gonna write a book? What are you gonna do with your life? And instead of telling you, well, I don't think you can do that, they'll be like, okay, well, we'll help you meet this goal. And I've had some counselors who were not good, and I will get into that in another video because I was asked to do a video on rehab services for the blind. So anyway, that's one of the benefits. Another benefit is college. Because there are a lot of blind people in Missouri, you can call colleges and ask if they've had blind students, and they will usually tell you. What I recommend that everyone does is the first call you make should be to the Office of Disabilities. I almost said the Disabilities Department. That's not what it's called. And one of the first questions I always ask is, have you ever had a student who was blind? And if the answer is yes, my next question is, what were your accommodations for them? And I found both colleges that I attended this way. I toured it with the first college I attended. I toured it with my high school class, my senior class, and my paraprofessional at the time. When I was in school, we called them personal aides. But my aide at the time was like, we're going to take this detour and go into the Office of Disabilities, and you're going to ask questions. And I did. And she was the one that first asked about, have you had a blind student, and what were their accommodations? And I thought, that's a great question to ask. Why didn't I ask it? So basically, we have some really good colleges in Missouri. Highly recommend the two that I attended. The second college that I found was because they had partnered with the first college I attended to offer more classes and more programs and things like that. So that's another benefit, is our colleges. We have so many colleges. We have transit. Some counties have paratransit. Some counties have county transit. It's basically the same thing. Some of it is ran better than others. Some of it is not. And some cities, counties, whatever, have buses, taxis, Uber, things like that. And there is a lot of blind people here, but we're pretty much all spread out all over the state of Missouri. Like, I only know of like 2 other people who are blind, 3, in the state of Missouri, and 2 of them I met on Twitter. So that's a benefit. But it kind of gets annoying when somebody's like, do you know this person? Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video about blindness benefits in Missouri enough to give this a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring that notification bell. Leave a comment if you have something to say. Like my Facebook page. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Odyssey. Please follow me on Odyssey. And I will see you all tomorrow.